Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co-host, uh, Gerald from TarotStache. Hi, Gerald. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, yes. Mark was going to be with us, but maybe next time we'll have Mark with us. There was a little bit of a confusion about uh, uh, the times and the schedule, so it was my fault. I apologize. But Gerald and I are here, and we're going to be working with messages from your loved ones. This will be strictly a mediumship offering type of show. And what we're going to be doing is some more in-depth type of mediumship
Mhm.
messages coming through. And we ask that you ask one request per comment. So and then this way we can focus on one person and we know which one we're talking about, and we're going to validate it with you first, and then we'll bring in the message. Also, I'd like to invite those who may not have had somebody read for, like if you have not had your family read for in the past, if you would
Mhm.
wanted to put in somebody that you would like to connect with, and we just need basically their name and their relation. It could be a friend, it could be, uh, family member and
Yes.
ancestor, you know, somebody who you would be able to validate information on. That would
Mhm.
be really great. So I want to say, welcome, Gerald. Thank you for being here. How are you today?
I am well. I'm staying warm and preparing for another round of snow that's
Oh,
scheduled to come in.
is
So,
that coming in today?
supposed to be overnight.
Oh,
So everybody is panicked. So it's like, okay. So,
I
but I'm just like going, you know what? It's okay. I've got what I need. So I'm good. I'm very good.
okay. And Gerald and I are twinsies today, and it just so happens we both have good taste.
Hmm. Yes, we do.
So that's lovely. And I want to hi just because nice to see you. And Cece Bear, nice to see you. Um oh, and Cece Bear says she loves your knight, the knight in the background there.
Thank
Hmm.
you. And I actually have two of them, so I'm well guarded.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Cody noticed we're both sporting red. Nice to see you, Cody. And
hmm.
Delphi and Motivation. Cindy, so nice to see you. Jill Sinanan is here. Cindy and Encinitas. Thank you very much for your very kind, generous donation, Cindy. You're so
Oh,
sweet.
yes.
We appreciate that. Um, just because I think I called you.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And Craig Dixon is here.
Well, hi, Craig.
Nice to see you. So just as a reminder, we will be doing messages from your loved ones. And we just ask if you would kindly provide the name and the relation and use caps and emojis, and the questions will be chosen at random. Um, so we like to have this time set aside where we're really just focusing on connecting with loved ones on the other side and
Hmm.
bringing in that mediumship kind of energy that we like to focus on.
And these will be a bit more in depth readings. They're not going to be quick shots. So it'll take us a little bit of time. We encourage you to, well, you need to be here because then you will be able to verify with whom we're connecting. So, oh, hi, Deanne, Blue Crescent Tarot. Good to see you.
So, Gerald, are you ready to get started? And you can continue popping up your requests there.
I am.
But okay, very good. Messages from loved ones. Okay, very good. Let me just hide that there. Right. CC Bear. Hi, CC Bear. Could I please get a message from Aunt Janice, please and thank you. And if we choose your message, kindly let us know that you're here.
Mhm. Cece is here. Immediately for Aunt Janice, Cece, and you can tell me if I'm on the right track. I'm seeing someone who is writing poetry and actually arranging flowers in a vase. So I'm not sure if that's if this is the right Aunt Janice, Cece.
Oh, she said, I heard she was very talented. I never got to meet her, but heard she was similar to me. So that tracks. Interesting.
Okay, because I do see her. She was my mother's sister and died before I was born. I see her writing in small print in a little journal of some kind, uh, and she is very uh, um, she is very quiet, and she does a lot of processing in her head before she actually puts words out. It's almost like well, she creates the whole poem before she puts the pen to the paper. So it's all processed in her head, and she trusts it. So what's your message? Okay. Part of the message, CC Bear, is this importance of processing inwardly and keeping things to yourself before you share things out loud. Process it through all yourself, because that way no one can influence it. She's wanting to help you understand the power of your own voice and the importance of that. And putting, she's relating to the flowers, and as she's putting flowers in this vase, cut flowers will only last a certain period of time. And she's suggesting that um don't do too much inward work, because then you don't want that to actually fade away. You want to give it a little bit of time. Once those flowers truly open, then you actually get it on writing, or get yourself writing or to creating, and then that will help. So
Cece, I'm also picking up somebody who is quite angelic. Like it's almost like she was very soft, very kind, very gentle, and that she was very well liked, and almost had like uh, it was like and I'm getting the words only the good die young. I feel like she had a lot going for her. She was young, she was beautiful, she was talented, she was um, kind, compassionate. I feel like she had this angelic quality. Um, she's saying that she does watch over the family with you and your mom. And I'm asking her, I feel like she's watching over mom especially, or um, I feel like they were very much connected throughout their entire lives, or, the afterlife as well. Like your mom was connected to her even after she passed. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you, Miss CC. Let me see.
I like the word angelic because I also got, she was very radiant. Cece said, yeah, my mom is dead as well.
Yep.
So they're probably both watching over together.
Yep. And while your mom was here in this world, I feel like she was very connected to CC, and CC was still an influence. Helped to guide your mom. And they're saying that it does run in the family. You did say that those things were traits that you had as well, but she's saying this quality does run in the family, that it is unique, very special, and it also comes with a responsibility and a devotion to practicing this compassionate energy. How lovely.
Yeah,
She's
that's,
very, very, very lovely energy, very light, very quiet, very gentle.
yeah. And there's a deep sense of understanding beauty and what the beauty is, the written word, the rhythm of language, and the flowers. That's a really important thing. Cece, if you can get yourself some flowers, that might be something to bring into your home as an honoring of um of your aunt, and your mother and you. So
I feel like she was spoken about in the family as if she was an angel. I feel like you spoke about her as you were growing up and throughout life, that, oh, that must be Aunt Janice, or
mhm,
Aunt Janice would love that. I feel like she was spoken about in a very highly, kept alive, the memory and the inclusion, which
yes.
she says she's really grateful for.
Mhm. Yes. Okay.
She says, "Thank you so much. It does seem like she and I are very much alike. I do have roses honoring my mom, but I'm not sure what type of flower my aunt enjoyed." She's
Mm,
saying, "My mom would always keep the angel statues and talk about her sister in a very loving way. She missed her a lot." There
yeah,
you go.
that's beautiful. Thank you, Cece. That's great.
Thank you,
Sure.
Cece. Um, Gerald, did you want to choose the next one? And it's okay if you don't.
Um, let's see. Do we have we read for Cindy and
She
Encinitas?
uh no, she had another one at 11 at 111.
Okay.
So maybe that one we can, yeah.
Yeah. Would love to communicate with my grandmother Jean. She used to talk to me about paranormal things and especially the Rosicrucians. I'm wondering if she passed psychic gifts to me.
I didn't see that her name was Jean, but that's funny. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, very much. I appreciate the question. So let's connect to grandmother Jean. You're welcome, Cece. She's saying, I feel like your grandmother is saying this was a natural. Uh, it was almost. it was like a women's intuition or a sixth sense or a gut instinct, or she had these premonitions, and it was like very natural, very matter of fact. It wasn't like woo woo. It wasn't like shrouded or secrecy, or I think that it was recognized and appreciated, and people would come to her for advice. And it's because she had insight into things. But she's telling me it wasn't as um, esoteric. It was more pedestrian, is what she's saying. It was more just an accepted part of life, and that she had a natural talent. And she's saying, of course, she's saying we all have these um, psychic and connections to the other side, and to she's saying that you trust yourself there, Cindy, and she's saying that you also have had experiences yourself, that she's saying add all of these things up, like if you heard your name called, or if you saw a bluebird and it reminded you of somebody, because if you would add each one of those things up, you would realize you too are connected. We all are. It's
Mhm.
about what we focus on, what we sort of appreciate or show gratitude for, and recognize as, and it is considered a miracle on this 3D world to have these occasions of connection. How about you, Gerald?
Well, what I'm feeling is, as I'm feeling your grandmother. Of course, she's talking to you about these things, and she's seeing how you respond to them, and it's almost like she has a checklist of things to, well, let's bring this topic up and see what she does with it. Oh, let's bring this topic up and see what she does with it. Let's do this. And I see 11's. Yeah, there you go. So it's almost like she was she was recognizing these gifts in you and bringing up the topics to see how you would respond to them, because it was a great indication of your own development and your own strengths. um, because I am definitely seeing her encouraging these talents in you, so that they're not because then they are part of who you are instead of making you weird. It's like you were saying, if you see a bluebird and you notice it, you see 11s all the time. It's just something that is part of it, and you recognize it. And that's a really nice thing. Um, so the short answer is um, I think, did she pass them? I think she encouraged them. She saw, you came in with certain skills and talents, and she gave you opportunities to see what it was like.
I'm also feeling that she is saying that, you know, when when she was working um, or practicing these skills, there was not many other people around, and it had to be a little more, um, you know, it in the back alleys, I guess, or
Mhm.
not out in the open, but just because it wasn't widely accepted. She's
Yes.
saying, but her abilities were very natural,
Mhm.
she've always had them, and it was like a natural thing for her. But her ability to practice them was more on a down low kind of a practice. Um,
Yeah.
but she's saying because of this low key, thanks, Venus. Um, and because of this, you too, it's a natural ability, she's saying, and it does run in the family. Absolutely. I would definitely work into, should I turn it into a career? Yeah, that's let me see. I don't know about a career, but definitely work on it for sure. And yep, Cindy, you definitely have the talent. You definitely have the desire, and you're able to help people. And if you work on practicing your skills in order to help people, whatever comes of that, whether it's meant to be a career or not, will present itself. So work on helping people and developing your skills, and allow that to unfold naturally.
And I like that. And what I'm hearing is Gina's encouraging you to do not separate your skills from what you are currently doing. Allow them to support you in what you are doing. If you get a nudge and you follow that nudge and it helps you in your job, great. They don't have to be separate. They can come along and they can support you in what you're doing. That's really the feeling that I'm getting from her. Especially as Jean, as you were saying, her stuff was on the down low, or it was very low key. People knew who to talk to when they were wondering stuff. They didn't understand it and they didn't think her weird. They just thought her wise and they took her advice. So, but
Mm-hmm.
oh, good,
Mm-hmm.
Cindy.
Cindy says exactly what I needed to hear. Good for you, Cindy. Thank you very much for your question. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you being here. And I'm going to go with Teresa. Teresa, if you're still here, please say hello. Just say hello and let us know you're still here so that we can. Okay, thank you. She's still here. So Teresa said, may I receive a message from my friend that passed away, William Billy? Well, that's a double name, huh? I would love to hear
Yeah.
from him. Okay. I feel like you, well, oh, I feel like you two were, I feel like he loved you like a sister and really cherished. I feel like there was some good times. And what I mean by that is lots of laughter, lots of joy, lots of recreation, maybe um, socializing. But he always had a very keen eye for you and always like wanted to watch over you, and felt and saw you as being very special to him. So I'm not sure if this was a romantic connection or if it was a friendship connection.
Did you know Billy when you were teenagers? Because I'm curious, because I'm getting a sense of the two of you dancing and playing 45s like we used to do as teenagers. We would play 45s in the room, and he went by Billy. It was a romantic relationship. Okay. So were you teenagers when you met? Um, there's just something about it. He's actually there's he wants to be there to be dancing, and he wants to play the music on repeat like we used to as kids in the other room, and just because it was fun. It was that thing that we did as a kid. So, but I it doesn't matter if you were kids, but perhaps what the message is. He was in my 20s. He was older. The message may be you need to be dancing a little bit and listening to some music that lifts your spirits. Have some fun. Remember to giggle and laugh and enjoy that. Because I am also curious. Is Billy may not have um, we did go dancing a lot. Okay. I mean, because he keeps there's dancing, and It's this not just the slow dancing, but it was having a really, really good time and going for it. So Billy is, there needs to be some dancing and good music.
Yeah. And I just see him looking at you, and I see him looking at you fondly and wondering to himself, um, how did I find her? Where did I find her? How did I get so lucky? And I feel like he was he was I feel like he was protective of you and very adoring. And it's a little bit different than being in love and being like in a 50-50 give and take relationship. He looked at you in a precious, he saw you as being precious and adoring you and really feeling lucky to be around you. I just see him having this high esteem and this he felt it was a different type of a feeling for a relationship. He did feel protective over you, almost like an older brother would. Um, but man, he truly loved you, and I feel like this was maybe a past life relationship too. Um,
The word cherish comes to mind.
as she
And
said, we worked together. That's where we met.
Yeah. I'm glad you were saying that he wanted to protect you, but it was a cherish about it. He wanted to make sure. I mean, he was very lucky. I feel that he felt that then, not at the depth that he wasn't able to express it at the depth that he did it. He was just behaving in certain ways because you were precious. There were great things about you, things that made him very happy that he did not understand, and he wanted to make sure that you were cared for. Not that he was trying to control you. It's like he would wrap you in bubble wrap if you were to go outside, so nothing happened to you. So, but
Yep. But it was definitely a soul connection there, Miss Teresa. And I feel as though when your day comes, he will be there to greet you as well. Um, and he just wants to thank you for thinking of him fondly and for remembering him. And I feel as though he may not have had a lot of other things that made him happy in his life, and you definitely made him feel like um, the 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 friend and the partner that he wanted to be. I feel like you made a difference in his life where there weren't a lot of things that went well in his life, but you were one of the ones that did. So he's very happy that he found a love like yours in his lifetime, and he looks back on it fondly for sure. Oh, he was an alcoholic, and that's why it didn't last. Wow.
I'm sorry.
That's really hard. That's really hard because it got in the way of his, but it doesn't mean the love was definitely there. Yeah. Oh, that's so hard. It's just tragic, isn't it? It's almost like a, you know, an illness.
Yeah, and
That's
it dampened down his ability to express himself. He thought it did the opposite, but it didn't. It disconnected him.
mhm.
So,
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Teresa, for sharing all of the information with us and for connecting with Billy. And how beautiful. Yeah, he doesn't want you to worry about him, Um, there is no addiction on the other side, he's saying. For sure. Yep, it's a disease that steals every yep, everyone the person loves, and it steals them as well. Yep, it is.
And I would say, Teresa, this may be why he wants you to dance a little bit, so that you remember him for the times that you were dancing and you were genuinely connected, and to elevate that so that you have that sense of those moments of pure joy and that connection, that soul connection. So
Yeah, and makes a lot of sense about what he was bringing through earlier. So thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate you being here.
mhm.
Let's do you want to choose the next one, Gerald? We'll just go back and forth.
Sure. How Tanya hikes. Any messages from my mother-in-law Nora?
Okay, and after Tanya will be Nancy R. Thank you, Tanya. I feel like the first thing I'm picking up is Nora was a force to be reckoned with, and she had some oppositions and challenges in life, but she never let them get the best of her. I feel like she was always fighting for something, or always trying to I don't know. I don't know if this was an illness, or if this was, poverty, or job, or boyfriends. There was something that she was always striving for, that she was like a real go-getter, and she never let things get her down. She just, always kind of hustled to make life better. And again, I can't tell. I see her really striving and sort of feeling like she's behind the eight ball. And I don't know if this was in her career, or if this was about men, or if this was about money. I don't know what this was, but I feel her being struggle, trying to get things to a certain point, and always working. Either that, or she was just relentless with taking care of her family. But she was really much a work, and she didn't let things alone, I feel. Does this sound like Nora? Oh gosh, she says yes, very true. Health. Okay. She was struggling. Yeah, she kept fighting and fighting and fighting. She just is showing me, but she didn't she would just push through. She was extremely strong individual, and always had optimism, and her sheer will would override any diagnosis or any outcome. But I do see her fighting, and even though she wasn't feeling well, she would still put the Christmas presents under the Christmas tree. She would still make the dinner. Like, no, she was just such a fighter. She would always go, go, go. And she's just saying she was very not pushy, but because of this, she had to like insist on things. And but she was a force to be reckoned with even before this kind of came up. I feel it was like in her essence that she was a fighter and a doer.
Mhm.
Yeah, so let us know, Nora, dear sweet Nora. She was, Tanya. She said she was. Good. How about you,
Now,
Gerald?
Tanya, did she walk with a limp? Did she have foot issues? Because I'm seeing a shoe that was either raised up or something like that, hunched over and walking with a cane. And Tanya, I'm not sure if that's her, because there's a lot of that energy that you were describing, Jean, with this definitely go get it. It's like, I may feel horrible, but we are having dinner. It's Sunday. We're going to have dinner together, and everyone will be present. It's expected that people would do that. Because I am, she said, it sounds like that sounds like my grandma. Okay. So, but there's some. So I may not have Nora. I may have your grandmother, but yeah, I don't have Nora, but the energy, with that's being communicated with, it's very kind, it's very loving, it's also very um directive. We're doing these things because these are the things that need to be done, and they need to be done in this order. So
I also feel like they're coming through together and they're blended. And I feel as though Nora is bringing your grandmother through for you, Miss Tanya. And a lot of times, people in our lives, and even though it's an in law and a grandmother, so it's blood and no blood, but they're still our soul family. So they're all together on the other side, and they all have you in common. They love you, and
mhm,
they're all together on the other side. And I feel like she wants to bring through and they do, if they have like a similar, I don't know, there's something similar around them, that they do blend and come through together. And I think that's brilliant that Gerald was picking up on that limp foot that was distinctively your grandmother. And it wasn't that we weren't getting Nora, it was that Nora was bringing through your grandmother, letting you know that she's there with all the family, with everybody who loves you, with all of us are here together. And I think that's such a comforting message from Miss Nora. And she would be that one. She would be like, enough about me. Let's bring through some more people. She was very selfless, and just she was amazing. I love Nora. Nora was just so, and it's like, it's another one of these, and it might be a theme, like the good die young, just like Billy, the good die young. And, these people who have such immense love, compassion, caring, devotion, and yet they battle with a struggle in life that eventually ends their life, but it doesn't make their life less. It
mhm.
really helps them to, it's like catalyst for them to excel in the life that they want to have. And how courageous is this? And I think they're all here telling us this same message
It's
of be courageous and push through, that life is worth living, and don't let the diagnosis or the addiction or the foot, whatever it is, don't let these things stop you from living, to keep on living and keep on striving, because you make a difference. They all make a difference, and they're all here together telling us, we're here to make a difference. We're here to let you know each one of you are making a difference. So keep living is what they're saying. And not that we're contemplating not living, it's that we're holding on or waiting or being, procrastinating, or not making a choice to make a change, or, they want us to continue living, keep moving forward. Um, but how beautiful. And Nora is just like, oh my gosh, I'd love to meet her. She's an amazing, she's so pure, so uh truthful,
yeah.
so dedicated. And it's like why did she have to die or be challenged by this illness? Because she could like move mountains, if she would just have the right circumstances. But i think it's I think it's just part of what helps us to excel, and to carry on, and have that desire to keep moving forward.
There is also a great sense of community and the power of the female. It's like, well, there you go. And that there's very much a celebration of that. It's like I like how you were saying, be courageous, pull through, keep living, because when you do that, everybody benefits. There's this strong, yeah, yes, yeah. And boy, she is pulling a whole lot of energy in, that Nora. Good. Okay. So
I think she's watching over your kids too, Tanya. And I don't know if one of your kids has like this, she acts like her or looks like her or does something like her. And she's saying it's almost like her the spitting image of her, or she's like a mini me of her or something. One of your kids is very connected to Nora, and she just wants to thank you for being such a wonderful mother and a wonderful daughter-in-law. And thank you for everything that you did for her and for the honesty. I see that you opened your heart and you showed her your feelings and your heart. And she just wants to thank you you know, for being there for her.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice, Tanya. All right. All right. So let's, is there anything else there, Gerald, or you want to move?
No, that's great. And you had mentioned Nancy R.
Yep. Nancy, if you're still here, just say hello, please. Okay, thanks, Nancy. She says, a message from her husband, Joe, who passed 5 years ago. Thank you very much, Nancy. Let's see if we can connect to Joe. He's telling me he's with you. He's always with you. He hasn't left you. He says he lets you do your own thing. He said you're doing well. He said, but he's almost, do you feel like you sense him in the room with you, or that you, not like a spooky kind of thing, but just like a reassurance kind of thing? Or do things almost like, do you happen to get like, I don't know, a shopping cart at the store when it's the last one and you got it, or the last parking spot, or that you were at the bakery and there was only one bagel left and you get it? Like, there's certain things that he's like helping to, set up things to help you. And it's not a coincidence, and it's not just luck of the draw. It's that these things keep happening for you. And he wants you to maybe she said, yes, she does feel him around her. Just take note of the small ways that he can make a difference. And I feel like this is the way he was in life too, is that he wasn't really showy or the one who stole the spotlight, but he would do things behind the scenes, or sort of surprise you with things and do small, thoughtful things. He's just showing me that this is the energy that he's coming through, and he just wants to thank you for all of the everything that you went through to help. I feel like you didn't know. I feel like it was sudden. I feel like it was fast. I don't know if it was sudden, but I feel like it was fast. And I feel like you did have to take care of a lot, and he wants to just thank you for what you did take care of. You had to maybe make some decisions at the hospital or something. And he never imagined that it would come to that. He's just saying that with nothing that he could ever ask you to do, and you did it. It was not easy. He's saying it was not easy making decisions, and he's saying that it's okay. All of any decision, anything that you changed or decided on, or everything was exactly as it was meant to be. And he just wants to thank you for being there for him and being his advocate. Okay, so she says, he visited me after he passed. Very nice. He always surprised me. He had cancer, and I was his caretaker at the end. Okay. Yeah. How about you, Gerald?
I am the image immediately that I got of Joe was that he had lots of there were piles of paper, and these were all things he knew what was in there. Don't touch his piles. He knew exactly what was needed. Everything, he knew where it was. And he knows the plan. This is what I'm hearing is he knows the plan, and he would be able to surprise you with little things because he knew what was needed before it was actually needed, and he would just sort of plot to make it happen. Good synchronicities or something like that. He is continuing to offer some of that support for you. He is there's a little bit of regret that he didn't have everything planned out. He wished you didn't have to make some of these hard decisions on your own, as it felt, but they were not on your own. And yeah, definitely the right decisions. But there's it's really interesting. There's this, he really likes to have that, he likes to be able to pull. I mean, he would be like Mary Poppins, who would have a bag, and if somebody needed a lamp or something like that, he would go, oh, here it is, and he would pull that thing out. And so he always had piles of paper, even though they were in disarray. So, but he's like, I knew what's in them. I know what's in them. And it's an interesting, he's good. And he likes being around you and doing those small things. Like, I love that shopping cart example. That's exactly the type of thing that he would do. So, or that thing that you were looking for in the store and it wasn't on the shelf where it was supposed to be, but it's in the shelf 3 aisles over and it caught your attention. So, nice guy.
Really nice.
Nice guy.
Yeah. And he's making those arrangements as much as he can. But he doesn't want to be too pushy. He does say, I wish I would have, things were left undone in the end, but I'm okay with that. Yeah. Yeah. He does say he feels like he wishes he would have, hugged you more, said he loved you more, and appreciated you more. I feel like there was a lot of, and this is just the way that sometimes society dictates things to be, to go to work, to, hang out with the boys, or to work in the garage, or, there's always like, there's this expectation where our relationships and the ones we love are what we take with us to the other side. Any of the cars in the driveway that he may have been, focusing on did not mean anything to him and did not mean an ounce of what you meant to him. Oh, you're just doing such a lovely reading, Nancy. He's just saying that he wishes he would have hugged you more and told you that he loved you more. And he realizes now how important your relationship and that your love together was in life. He's just saying how important love is, how important relationships are, how important it is. And he's reminding me, make sure you tell the ones you love that you love them. Make sure you give them the extra hug, because it is what we take to the other side. It is like heaven on earth, is this love, this relationship, no matter how pressing or testing or challenge relationships are, because they show us who we are. That's who we learn from. It is the thing to be cherished the most here in this world. And What a lovely man.
Yeah, he was also, and because as how you said it, there are certain expectations that you go out and you do things with people. He would totally, he would, he was surrounded by people who did not have the affection for their partner that he had for you, and they didn't understand it. So he had to balance it carefully on how to actually manage that. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's like sometimes it's hard for others to understand the desire to always be with the one they love and to be at home with their spouse because of things, instead of going out, well, let's go out with the boys. No. So
Yeah, and Nancy says he closed off affection towards me in the end, but I know that he loved me, and I feel like he was trying to protect you and trying to protect himself, and you know, trying to make it easier for you when he did leave. But now he sees that loving somebody as
yeah.
much as you possibly can,
Mhm.
regardless of how much time is left, is what was important. But he knows that you know that he loved you, and he knows that that you feel him and sense that he's around. But he is sort of like a little bit like, I don't want the attention, but I'm going to put this right here for her. Like he loved you and he wants to do things, but he doesn't want too much recognition for it. Like he's just so cute. He's just he wants to make things special, but he doesn't want to do it over the top. I love the way I don't know what you would call that, but he's very charming man. Very charming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. What good readings.
Do we have time for one more, or did you want to just talk about the ones that we did have today?
We can do one more if you want to pick it. I'm good with
Okay.
that. This will
Thank
give
you very much, Nancy.
Yeah. This will give everybody a chance to give thumbs up to the video. So
Squadio Data MJ, are you still here? Squadio Data, are you still here? I hope she is. And if not, MLR, are you here? MLR, Squadio Data? You're welcome, Miss Nancy. I know MJ420's here, but it was Squadio Data. What it is I was looking for somebody a little more close to, it's MLR is here. Okay. A little bit more in the immediate family for some reason. That's what I was looking for. And Squadio Data was asking about her brother. It just, I just felt drawn to more of an immediate family connection. And MLR wants to get a message from her dad, Reno. You're welcome, Cindy. I'm getting a Western theme around here. I don't know if he wore Western sort of bolo ties or Western, the lapels with the little silver things on it, or if he wore a Western kind of a hat, or if he wore boots and jeans, some sort of a Western theme. And I can't pinpoint what that is, but he just has like that energy around him.
he loved country music.
Oh,
It's from Northern Maine.
okay. He loved that country music. Okay. That it's yeah. The the Westerns, yeah. Oh, and he loved Johnny Cash. Oh, okay. This is what he's bringing through, and isn't that? And this is like the essence. It's like I didn't see anything. I sort of felt something, and I couldn't tell exactly what it was. It was kind of like an essence about it, and I feel as though the jeans and the boots were the strongest point. But he was just showing me that you could tell he was like fans of Western. Yeah,
Mhm.
it is that music. How lovely. Oh my gosh. Good, thank you. Well, then Reno is here, MLR.
Because I was actually seeing Reno in a smoke-filled room with dirty hands, like he'd been out on the ranch or he'd been working on a tractor or something like that. And it wasn't a car; it was a tractor. It was that approach.
I don't feel like he lived to a very old age. I feel like he may have um, passed a little sooner than expected. I feel like he had a heart of gold. And again, this is the good die young. There is this theme, and they do this to us. They not do this to us, but they do this for us to see, to understand. They're reinforcing. And there's a reason why I was asking and looking for a particular questions. And I do feel as though there is this really enjoy life and to keep living and to I feel like he had some hardship in his life, especially in his earlier years, maybe in his teen, maybe he had a loss or there was something that happened either in his teens or early 20s that he had some trouble or some trauma, and he persevered and he found things that made him happy, this Western music, this Johnny Cash, and really focused on the things that he could enjoy despite the sort of demons in his mind. Oh, was he in a war or the Vietnam? There's some sort of demons in his mind. Did he have to go to
Mhm.
war when he was younger? There's some see he's telling me there's some sort of memories of trauma in his mind. And I'm not sure if he had a loss or maybe it could have even been like a car accident or something earlier in life. There's some sort of a demon in his mind. And I don't mean demon, I mean like, things that weighed on him that made him feel a burden in some way, that he had to persevere. And this is the whole theme through the whole show. We need to persevere. We all have uh, uh, burdens and struggles and things to overcome, but we need to find what it is that brings us joy in life. And we need to make, and this is the first thing that he brought through was this Western, this love, this country music, regardless. And perhaps, Johnny Cash had this sort of troubled kind of maybe
Yes.
he connected with him on this troubled kind of past or struggle. I think Johnny Cash even had uh, substance abuse, and but your dad is saying that he's coming through with the thing that he loved. He's coming through with the thing that brought him joy. And this joy, when we find joy here in this world, this is something that enlivens our soul and connects us to our true essence of our soul. Um, oh gosh. Okay.
Right.
Oh my gosh. He was in Korea, the Navy, but he went to Catholic school and could have been a victim. Yep. Yep. He was 67. He did die young. Oh my God. Oh,
Mhm.
and his dad died young. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there was something. There was, yeah. And he's, yeah. Thank you for letting us know that. But he loved that Johnny Cash. He's just keeps bringing me back to that. He's like, that's what matters. The things that bring us joy. Those other things are almost catalysts. And it's like to make us strive harder. Those other catalysts, those other challenges, those other um, hurdles in life that make us, you know, see, I don't just makes makes it more worth living, you know. How about you, Gerald?
Well, I mean, I am loving everything you're saying. That idea of the perseverance, and it felt like he was explaining, or he was showing me. It's like he was replanted, but not on purpose. It wasn't by his choice. It was like he was taken up, his roots were pulled out, and he was moved over here, and that's where he was put down. And so there was this need for him to he then, okay, this is where I landed, this is where I'm going to grow really strong in who I am and in my roots. And the Johnny Cash and the country music, it he loved it. He loved it. It was that persona that resonated with him, and the ability to overcome and to persevere. So I yeah.
His mother sent him away out of state to Catholic boarding schools, then proceeded
I
to Navy and college.
Yep,
Oh
I
my
thought that he
gosh.
went from, I think I was like, he went from school to, it was almost an escape by going into the Navy, because he had to get out. He had nowhere else to go. So that gave him some structure. But then when he went through college and got out, there was this getting strong roots right there where he landed. Yeah, very much uprooted. Yeah, and that's really, really hard. That's awful. Hmm. Yeah, she knew education was foremost. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Isn't that amazing? And you guys, we're all here together and we're all talking to your loved ones who have passed on, who we think don't. Some people say, oh, they passed on, they don't exist anymore. And they want you to know we're here, we exist. We're just in a different dimension. We're on a different plane. We're our connections, our souls are always and forever connected with each other. And we are always and forever watching over you and helping those of us who are still here in this world and who are still working on our own challenges. And it seems to be more compounded as we go on. And they're letting us know, look, this was my challenge. This was my joy. This is what helped me to persevere and what kept me moving. And love is love and joy. Love and
Mhm.
joy are those attributes which are on the other side, which are in the afterlife that we carry with us, that is most important for us to focus on here in this world. But oh my gosh, they're all so similar. They all have this very passionate and drive and instinct to overcome and love. It's like they just courageous group of individuals who came through
Mhm.
um, for us today.
And these are all people who, in their own way, they made the best of the situation that they were in. And I think that's another important message. Make the best of what you have, maximize it, set up those structures. So we're going to all be eating dinner together on Sundays, and you stick with it, and you because those foundational things really, really matter. Really matter. It's like, wow.
And they want us to know to continue the communication with them, continue reaching out to them for guidance and
Hmm.
for connection. That love never dies. The connection, the soul connection of those of you and I, of all of us here that are connected. We're all connected in some way on the other side as well. Um, you know, it's it's uh it's 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 really it's so much that our own human mind is very difficult for us to understand the enormity and the complexity of the universe and how it works. But to know that these um, awarenesses are being elevated at this time in history for all of us to become more connected and more guided with our loved ones and our spirit guides and angels on the other side, because we are all uh, we have the ability, and we need the guidance.
And there's nothing more than they like is to be remembered so that they can support us and to be around us. However you do that, whether it be sharing coffee with them. Somebody said they, Maria, Ms. Sherlock said, what was it, Miss Sherlock? No, is it MJ 420 said, I just invoked my grandmother to help me with the crocheting project. I know they're here. So whatever it is that reminds you of them and you can talk to them, they're listening. We just have to be willing to adjust our hearing to hear what they have to say. So powerful. Such a good message. So
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for all of your feedback. And I love that. I love MLR. Your dad loved the country music and Johnny Cash. And, it's an education for me too, because I'm sensing something and he's showing me something, but I couldn't quite tell, and it was quite specific. And I sort of like thought that's too cliche, but I went, I had to go, he kept showing me all of these things. So, but they're really, really good communicators. And they not only communicate with me, but they're communicating with you. MLR, this is an opening that you have with your dad now. And your dad wants to communicate with you. And he's there with you. And I'm tuning into you and your energy. And this is your time to open up that communication and maybe write him a letter and see what comes at the end of the letter. And that goes for all of us here who had a loved one or that asked for a message from their loved one. And also, if you, even if you didn't have a question here, we all can do this. We all can sit quietly and connect to our loved one and start writing a letter from them to them, whatever it is, and allow that information to come through. Remember them, look at their picture, hold something of theirs that they had, that you cherish. And they will come in close. And I love that was it Nancy that said she knows when her husband is
yeah.
She said, I know when he's around me. I feel him around me.
I love that.
And trust it. I mean, there is no denying it, but our monkey mind sort of talks ourselves we talk ourselves out of it sometimes. Such a beautiful experience together. And thank you, Gerald, for holding the space and supporting and bringing through. I love that you brought through Tanya's grandmother, that she came, she bled through, because Nora's like, oh, Nora's like, don't focus on me here, and you were picking up on that. And that's brilliant. I love that.
And I like how this is also a really good thing to remember is that, we reach out to them, we hear them. They're also going to be wanting to connect us to others who are supporting us with exactly where they are. A good friend of mine said to me, it's just like, whatever you're going through, don't you think you had an ancestor or someone who has gone through a similar thing? And if you ask for the help and you listen, it will be there. I thought, I had never really thought of that. I think that's so good. And perseverance. Woo. I need to hear that word. That's a good word.
I love the theme. I love the theme that they all came through and shared. She says, absolutely, Gerald. We have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Gerald, very much for all of your beautiful readings that came through here today. And Thank you, everybody, for being here. Everybody who's watching later, please do go over and subscribe to TarotStache. That's Gerald's YouTube channel. And we both are available for private readings.
Yep.
And you can connect with Gerald through his email, which is tarotstache@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you can, there it is. Very good. And you can connect with me at SunPsychicGene.com and book a reading there. And there's many different offerings there. And we will be back. I'll be on later on this evening with Ginger Faye. And Gerald, where will you be?
I will be with the Cool Crone tonight for the Cool Crone Oracle, where we're doing private or personal readings. So it'll be great.
And you can find that on Gerald's community page. So
Yes.
Please do come on over and subscribe, like, share, subscribe. And we really appreciate everybody being here today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.